survivor. I'm a survivor, survivor. Who will be the ultimate survivor? Let's find out when you spend a day in our shoes. All you creators, our sanctuary is waiting. Who will win the title? Well, it could be you. Survivor, survivor. I'm a survivor.
And there we are. I had to laugh at that one comment. I don't remember who said it. It went by so fast. But someone says, does having to do dishes count as a bad night? And I don't know. Everyone knows that I don't like to do dishes. Look who's here.
Hey, Dr. Lauren.
Or Dr. Baker.
Look, she put Animal Ranch Care with Dr. Lauren. She put it on there so we stop messing it up.
So listen, she has some kind of an alter ego. Now, I know we all have one of those. Everyone can be somebody by day, but you're somebody else by night. Ooh.
I don't think that's...
No, well, that's what I think an alter ego is. You can sometimes switch roles and become a whole different character. It's kind of like a girl you may meet who her name might be Michelle, but when she's dancing, she's something else. I've never met a girl like that, but I'm saying I see a lot of TV shows where that happens, and she's Diamond when she dances. So Dr. Baker or Dr. Lauren, we need to figure out which one is her.
Dr. Baker is the human doctor.
Which one is her diamond? Which one is her diamond side is what I want to know.
Dr. Lauren is the animal side. That's what I know.
So Dr. Baker is her human massage therapy.
No, her human chiropractic.
Chiropractic. Yeah. That's what I meant. I'm playing. And then I'm just joking. We love her. She's wonderful. And we love you all too. Thank y'all for jumping on and joining us on a Sunday night live. What a roller coaster of a week it's been. And everyone who's been watching the videos or watching the lives know that it has been a really up and down roller coaster of a week. Has it not?
It's been a tough week.
I've had a really hard time getting upset with Jamie for anything. I have. I've had a really hard time getting upset with her for anything.
You're so...
Well, I can't be upset with you. You had a rough week. So I'm just going to
That didn't stop you.
Well, come on, elaborate. People want you to elaborate. I'm sure people want you to elaborate. Give me a break from talking for a moment. Let me have a sip of my
Mr. I can't
Pepsi
find my
Zero.
stretchy pants. Mr. Where's the feed? Why did you take it with you? Like, life got a little bit out of hand this week is the best way that I can put it. And sometimes in moments where things are rough, the first person that gets the brunt of that is the person that you love. And I think...
Oh, that works two ways. That works both ways.
I just was going to say, I think that we're both guilty of taking some emotions out on situations.
Pamela, sweet lady, I would have no reason to be. I'm joking, Pamela. You know that I'm just a big jokester. I just joke. Lester's digging a hole already, says somebody. Guys, I'm just playing. Listen, we're excited that with all of the tough moments of this week, I'll tell you what, we had a really neat thing happen today, a little bit earlier today, and I did post that video over onto YouTube, and then I went ahead and went by to Facebook, and I posted it over there as well. Well, I linked it to YouTube because I can't post to Facebook. But that wonderful fella, the one that we called Casper, the one that we both loved. Listen, we only had him for about 2 weeks, right? A little over 2 weeks, and we fell in love with that guy.
I had a really hard time today with him leaving, like legitimately. And that hasn't always been the case with dogs that have left us. But with Casper, I sat on this floor today and cried when it was time for him to go. And I'm still upset. I know it was the right thing to do. I know it was the right thing for him, but I just feel like he was a really amazing dog. He is a really amazing dog. I'm happy for him to find his person, to get in a routine that involves some one-on-one time for him. And I'm really happy about that. But Casper came at like a very peak emotional time. And it was really hard. It was really hard to say goodbye today.
Yeah. If y'all can give me a couple of minutes here, I want to show you some videos. Well, they're actually not videos. They're actually still shot photos, but I'm going to make them into a video and then show them to you all. And then I'll talk about each one of them. So give me 1 second here. I can do this so fast. That's how fast I can do this, Jane. Look how fast I just did that. Are you impressed?
I'm impressed.
All right. Now I'm going to put this over to here. And then we can show all of the audience. So we are on, what do they call this app again?
StreamYard.
StreamYard today. I need to do that. I need to hide that. Guys, I'm working here. This is Lester working on the job. And so when I get quiet, it's because I'm working. There we go. Okay, so let's talk real fast about Casper. So this was Casper. This was the first photograph that Miss Mary sent me. I don't know how far away they were from the property, but there's a stop sign, so I think that she might have been right down the road. And that's how fast it took Casper to conk out on her. He's like, you know what? 3-hour drive, I'm going to sleep a bit. You go ahead and drive, Miss Mary. I'll just sleep right here. But she was really smart to keep the cable, and she went ahead and snapped it. Whenever we got in, she saw how much room he had. She went ahead and just snapped it on, knowing that if she ends up stopping for gas or for a bathroom break, she didn't want him to jump and bolt.
That's really smart.
And so that was pretty smart of her. Let me keep playing the videos. And then when she makes it home, oh no, here we go. So on the way, she felt like they've been on the road for a while. And she says, is it okay if Casper eats a hamburger? And I'm like, you know what? We've never given him a hamburger. We've given burgers to a lot of our dogs, y'all. We have really spoiled all of them. I bet
he felt like he was in heaven there.
Well, she knew that he found his way to Whataburger one night. So she's like, could I get him a burger? And I'm like, Miss Mary, he's all yours. I don't know of any food allergies. I don't know, but I says, that's up to you. So when she went and got herself something to eat, she bought him something to eat as well.
Aww. And
it's cute because you can see there on the parking lot, he still has his cable. He's still wearing his cable. You don't want to let him off that darn cable, which is cute. And then that's Casper on the way home. And then they get home. And these may be out of order because I just went and saved them real fast. So over here, this is Casper meeting her dog. Oh. And I'm so sorry. I forgot the name of her dog. She said it in my video. It's a female, but I completely forgot the name of that little dog. And so she not only did she send pictures, but she told me they're getting along great. They're playing in the yard. And so I was really happy to hear that.
Yeah, Casper's very acclimatable with other dogs. Like he did great with our bunch. And Bella, people are telling you that the baby's name was Bella.
Bella. It was Bella. Thank y'all. I'm horrible. It was Bella.
And I love that he has a companion in a human, but also in a dog. Because I don't think that he liked to be by himself. I don't. So that is really special to me for him. He has a fenced in backyard.
Oh, I'm going to show that.
Oh, you are.
Can I keep going?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, so Casper gets along great with Bella. Let's play a few more pictures. Oh, wait, hold on. Look, she still has the cable on though.
She's smart.
Smart lady, because I think that she's seen all 3 of my videos where he escaped on me. And so she's going to keep that cable on until she knows it's safe to take it off, which is really, really smart. Okay. Moving on. They finally, oh, looky here. They're looking around. I don't know what's that in the background. Is that a tennis court or pickleball or one of those?
One of those 2, yeah.
But there's somewhere having them a little walkabout, I guess, seeing the neighborhood or seeing the street or seeing the dog park, wherever they're at over here. Still with the cable, which is smart. Casper's looking at the camera, which is cute. We keep going, and oh, here they are in the backyard now. They went ahead and I think the cable's off. I can't see. Off. Is it off now? Yeah. So they're in the backyard. Bella is showing Casper all around. Hey, look over here. This is a nice spot to pee. And then, over in there in this corner is another great spot.
Oh, trust me, he's going to pee on it all.
He will. He will make rounds, and he will pee on every single thing. Yes. And then I think there's only one more of them in a different angle here in the same yard. But no, everywhere that Casper's going exploring, Is that a bench? Does she have is that like a little bench over there?
I think it's a raised bed garden.
Oh, a raised bed garden. Okay. But no, this is her backyard. And let's not forget that Casper was going to be a house dog with a nice big backyard.
I'm so happy.
And there's a dog park down the way. And she says there's a 2-mile stretch that goes around her neighborhood that she takes Bella for a walk. And now she goes, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and start taking Casper too.
I love that for him.
I do too. I think that was all. That was all. Let me remove that now. So thank you so much, Miss Mary. It was a pleasure meeting her. I did have to give her the grand tour. I could not let her come over and not get the grand tour.
I'm sorry that I missed her. I had a lot going on today, sadly.
Yeah. Someone says, oh, good, they have a high fence. Yeah, they got a high fence. Casper was not the one that dug. If you remember, the one that would dig over there is Phoebe, and Casper would escape. So Casper wasn't really the digger. Phoebe was the digger. Casper was just the one that would get out with Phoebe and then hightail it off. So I am so very happy to have met her. She was wonderful. I got it this morning. We bathed Casper, gave him actually his first bath. I feel kind of bad about that, but it was his first bath with us. And he looked gorgeous. Once he was all cleaned up and bathed and his hair was brushed, he looked amazing. So I think he was so
patient through it all. Like, I know that we haven't gotten the DNA test back, but I just keep saying that there is golden retriever in his blood.
Yeah.
Because his demeanor is just so much golden and very little Great Pyrenees. It's probably a split in there somewhere, but his reactions and the way that he was probably raised had more golden in him, I think, and allowed those traits to come through. He just is I really am genuinely, I'm happy for Mary, but I'm sad for us. And I didn't realize how much of him and his routine has helped in the last week. And I know that sounds crazy, but like, he was a lovely distraction. And like, sitting here on the floor with him, I cried my eyes out this morning saying goodbye to him.
You know, I hadn't thought of it that way, but think about it. He was a lovely distraction. He gave you a temporary escape from the reality of what was going on out here in the pasture. And he added lots of responsibility to your plate.
But that didn't, like, it was extra, and I wish I could have given him more. And there's a guilt in me of not being able to give him what he needed, which is why it was the right thing for him to do, to let him go. But I'll like, he was house trained. He didn't chew on anything. Like, none of the stress was what. Like,
he didn't mess with our other dogs.
None of the stress
no food
was
aggressions.
Like puppy stress. It was just the fact that I feared for his life and felt terrible that he had to be on a lead or a leash, and that he couldn't enjoy the way the rest of the dogs were enjoying. Like, and that if he got away, then his life was in jeopardy, basically.
Sarah says he was like therapeutic, and then someone else says he was like your emotional support in a really rough week. And that's all very true.
And he left.
You want to, you know what? We made sure. Now, I have told you guys this so many times. Jamie has as well. We always said that every time we bring in a rescue, sometimes the stories that we're told don't always match up to the reality. And so, I mean, on one hand, Miss Mary watches the channels. You can't say, oh, no, Miss Mary, he has no flaws whatsoever. She already knew, y'all. She already knew that he's a runner. And I says, Mary, there's one thing that I don't think you've seen in the video that I do want to let you know about before you agree to this. And she's like, okay, what's that? And I think that she appreciates the fact that I was going to be up front. And I says, for some reason, his go outside time every night is 3 a.m. And she goes, oh, wonderful. That's the same time Bella wants to go out every night. So that means they can both go out together.
Are you serious?
Yes. They can both go out together because that's the same time of night that her Bella wants to wake up and go outside and TT. So now that worked out great. It'd be horrible if one was like at midnight and one was at 4. And you got to wake up twice every night, you know?
Listen,
but
I don't know what's in his clock at 3 a.m. Like, I don't know what part of his life, like maybe his owner works shift work or something like that. And that was their time. But I'm telling you, 3 a.m.
On the clock, on the dot.
On the dot, every night. That's what's happening. In fact, that's the title of my video tomorrow morning is it's 3 a.m.
Oh,
I swear. But he doesn't mess around. It's not for fun. He wants to go for a walk. He wants to do his business. And when we're done, he was ready to go back in and lay down. There's no barking. There's no like, let's play or let's eat. Like he has a 3 a.m. wake up.
and so you are going to, when you get the DNA,
Yes.
you'll share it with everybody,
It
and then we'll
takes
share that.
It takes a couple weeks.
Yes.
So whenever we get it, we'll share it, and we'll of course send it off to Miss Mary as well.
Oh no,
I'm
you're
so
not
sorry.
yawning on a live video.
I'm so very sorry it
That's
happened.
horrible.
Lack of oxygen, not tired.
Wow, that's the first time you've ever done that on a live video.
Not really. I've been yawning a lot.
Have you?
lately. Sorry.
But so we did have a highlight this week, and that highlight, even though it sounds like we're sitting here sad and depressed, it was knowing that Casper is going to a wonderful home. Jamie and I have never let a dog go off to, and there's nothing wrong with this, but people who let them go off to a rescue or a whatever. Hey, don't think that we weren't considering it, okay? But we just wanted to try to keep that little fella safe, and the way he kept running off was scary.
You know what's crazy though is like, I think that what we didn't know about Casper in the beginning, like changed so much very quickly once we understood him. And like, I have a feeling that he's been misunderstood before. And like to most people, he's a Great Pyrenees. He should be an outside dog. He should be a farm dog. He should be able to do all these things. But like, as we got to know Casper very quickly and realized like, wait a minute, he's a house dog. He's a dog that wants to jump in bed. Like everything changed because whenever you brought him, I was like, oh no. I was scared of what's he gonna attack? What's he gonna do? All these things. And like and full disclosure, like I had my guard up about what Casper's bad habits were. But as we learned him very quickly and got to know how sweet he was, how much of a pleaser that he was, and how he was not trying to, he just didn't understand what freedom was like, and he just didn't understand the expectations of him. And I'm just sad. I'm just sad that we didn't have the right accommodations for him, I guess, is what I mean.
Well, I think we may do pretty good. He had he traveled back and forth to both properties, and that is what I will miss the most, in the fact that he was a wonderful riding companion. He didn't have to be lifted up. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna talk real quiet.
No, you
Stella
don't.
can't hear a darn thing. Whereas Stella has to be lifted up and carried back down. You know, Casper could just jump right on up in there, and he could do it all. But so that was a lot of fun, taking him back and forth. He never got in trouble around the animals. He didn't get that close to anybody to get himself in trouble. He didn't bark like crazy. There was a lot of neat things about him. And I would say that if he would not have been a wanderer, he'd probably still be with us.
He would still be. If it wasn't
Because he
for
was a
his
great
safety.
dog. He got along great with Mill and Fiona. They would play, friends. They would play. There's one story you've never heard. I did not video it because I was so frustrated at the time, and I didn't tell everybody. I think I told you this story, but there was one day here at this property where I had Casper out in the shop, and I opened the door just a little bit for me to crawl and go under, and he shot out. Okay, fine. I thought I could keep an eye on him and he'd stay close, and he didn't. He went over and he went where the same trail that Millie goes, and he crossed under the fence into Pat and Dave's. So I made a video about him seeing Pat and Dave, but I did not video what happened while I was there. I was terrified that Casper was going to go over there and start chasing their chickens. So Jamie got on the phone and called to make sure that they were home. And they were home. They says they're on the porch and they have Casper. So I was relieved to know that they're there with Casper. So I jump on my side-by-side. I drive over, and I have the code to their gate. They have the code to our gate. We're neighbors. We trust each other. And sometimes we have to help each other. So I did the code. I drove up their driveway. And sure enough, there was Casper right there on the front porch with both Pat and Miss Pat and Mr. David, our neighbors. And I apologized, and I said, y'all want a good dog? And, he's wonderful. And David goes, we already got a good dog. And I'm thinking, no, they don't. And he goes, over there. And I looked over, and there's Millie. There's Millie, and they're over there laying by their chicken coop, just looking at me. He's like, no, we don't need a dog. We already have us a good dog. I'm like, y'all have a dog? He goes, oh yeah, there's our Millie, just over there, just like chilling, like looking at me.
We have joint custody of Millie.
Millie is like that though. She has found some kind of inner drive to protect Miss Pat's chickens. And she's done a heck of a job, because I listen to me. You all know that Jamie wants to get chickens. As a matter of fact, do they know what's going on? Okay, I can't talk much about what's going on, but you all know that Jamie wants to get chickens, right? They know that much. Mm-hmm. I've been telling Jamie that I don't think I can build a coop or a chicken run safe enough or secure enough to have chickens survive here. This place is infested with predator type animals. If it's not wild kitty cats, like, feral cats, there's possums, there's raccoon. Obviously, you've seen Jamie's videos. Not to mention there's fox, our little red fox who lives here. And I just don't know if I am going to be able to save or protect those chickens. And now that Millie's going over there every day and night to watch their chickens, I'm like, who's going to watch our chickens? So I don't know what's going to happen. But
she already lays by my coop, and
she's ready for them. Then
she knows that
hawks,
that's what's
eagles. Thank you. Yes, we have birds here, hawks and eagles. Hey, it's going to be hard. You do know that.
I have a plan. I have a plan. You don't even know some of that plan yet, but I have a plan.
And then I'm going to tell y'all a confession that she had confessed to me that she doesn't know I'm going to confess to you all. Go ahead. What's your plan?
I'm not telling my plan.
Oh, you're not going to tell them the plan?
No.
Oh.
I said I have a plan, and you don't even know the plan.
Oh, I don't even know the plan, and you're not going to tell us right now.
No.
Okay, well, there's a plan. Guys, Jamie has a plan. Woo! But I will say this. I'm like, you know what we should do? If we're going to have a chicken coop and a yard and all that, we should go ahead and bring over Cornholio. No, Cornholio, he's good at he's over there with Megan and Ellie. Cornholio's fine. And I'm thinking, why not? Why not bring Cornholio over? What's the big deal? He's like our turkey. He's been with us for so many years. No, we'll just leave Cornholio over there. And so I always thought the reason that we never brought Cornholio was because we did not think we had a safe enough place for him.
I don't think I have a safe enough place for him. He's not going to fit in my coop. So I would have to change all my plans then, because he can't get in that coop.
He can't fit in the little door?
No.
Oh.
That's what, otherwise I would say yes.
I love Cornholio. I know that Ellie and Megan tolerate Cornholio. And I think that whenever Bree or anyone goes over, they tolerate Cornholio.
I'll say this. If you can make that door bigger and like, so let's just make it a Dutch door, then yes, bring Cornholio over. Bring Nate too.
I think we should bring Nate. I think that if we hatch these eggs, or if we get babies, if we get any chicks, I think that we should have one little rooster, just one rooster, and it should be Nate.
I'm down with that. And if you can fix the door to where Cornholio can fit in it, Cornholio can come.
I'm just wondering, could we have like a lean-to off to the side of it for Cornholio? He doesn't need a perch.
He wants to roost.
He does need a perch.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know what? I don't know.
I have a vision in my head.
Hold on. If Carl, Tina, and Debbie can go underneath and find their way to go underneath my new fence job.
All right, bring Cornholio.
I bet Cornholio can find his way inside that nest at night, that coop at night.
Okay.
I don't know. And there's no guarantees about Cornholio. But I'll tell you what, I have been here. We've been here for how long? We've been living here?
3
Over
years.
2 years, 3 years. And it's been so peaceful and quiet with no noisy birds. We had that one for a while. Oh, Rocky. Is Rocky still around?
Mm-hmm.
Is Rocky still over there with Megan and them?
Yeah.
I haven't kept up with Rocky, but he was the only bird that we had that made a lot of noise.
Nate does when he's in his barn, but
And
that's
now
it.
to know that we're going to end up introducing all those noises back to this place. Oh my gosh. But I hope that we find a way to keep them safe.
But
y'all.
it'll be behind the greenhouse, so it's not like it's
not right here.
right
in
here,
the, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's not going to be in a metal building that has sound bouncing off of it. So you have to think like the woods will offer some silence as well. We don't hear Miss Pat's chickens.
No, we don't hear them at all. My only fear, though, and I don't want to use your chickens as the guinea pigs to find out if it's going to be safe in it or not. But I would just hate it if anything happened to Cornholio. He has survived through so much, and it would be horrible if we bring him over here to add to our characters from our original novel, and Cornholio ends up getting hurt somehow.
Yeah, I agree. That would be horrible.
That would be horrible. Hold on, who's calling me by my whole name? Where did it go?
Are you also, Stephanie said they lost their rooster, Big Boy? Yes, I heard that Stephanie had a rooster issue.
I saw someone calling me by my whole name. What's over here? I know someone who named her rooster Lester Eugene. Who did that?
It wasn't me, but that's funny.
All I know is I saw my name. That's interesting. You named a rooster Lester Eugene.
I'm guessing he was cocky.
Was he a big one? Was he a big rooster? What? No, like you have Nate who's tiny, and then you have those like Rocky who are really big. What's wrong? Jamie, what's wrong? So I appreciate the person who reminded everybody that we will answer questions. I know there's a lot of questions. I see them coming through. What we try to do is talk to you all first because we're friends here. We're friends and family. We have things on our mind we want to talk about, but we will get to questions. I promise. We'll probably around the last 10 minutes or so open up a Q&A, and then everyone who's just commenting will stop. Everyone who has questions can start throwing in the questions, and we'll try to grab as many as we possibly can. But that will be towards the end of the live. I want to talk about my video for tomorrow and just make sure that we're on the same page here. And I hate to have to do it, but even in the beginning of my video, I remind people that the video is for mature audiences only. And I just want to remind people that if you find a video that anybody puts out, I mean, it could be any creator, any of us or anybody else, and you don't find it as your thing, then by all means, remember that you have the freedom to watch something else. And so tomorrow, Jamie's not even watched it yet, but I did make a video of Voo's last day, his last day with us. And I included everything from the last day. Now, nothing graphic and nothing that's going to get us into any kind of trouble with the powers that be at Facebook and YouTube. It follows all of the community guidelines, but I will say it's emotional, it's touching, it's a little bit of Jamie's moment, there's a little bit of my moment, there's a Dr. Cochran moment, there's beautiful music that accompanies everything. There's a part of the ritual that we have done to honor those who have lived here before us. And I did not do anything in poor taste. I talked to and emailed back and forth to make sure that I was doing everything right and not to dishonor or to make fun of. Help me with the word choices here. But we wanted to give Voodoo a proper medicine hat horse because he was, in fact, what the Native Americans referred to, maybe even today, as a medicine hat horse. And in saying so, the very rare medicine hat paint horse was always reserved for either the shaman or the chief of a tribe, of a group of Native Americans or indigenous people. And by riding on that horse, that medicine hat paint, it gave that rider lots of, the word is not status. It gave them lots of status because, in fact, the medicine hat paint, which is what voodoo was always through lore to be kind of a mystique, kind of
they were said to have
mystical feature.
Yeah, they were said to have magical, spiritual powers.
Now, listen, Jamie and I are modern day Americans like the most of you, and we, I completely understand.
Voodoo had magical powers, and I'll stand by that for the rest of my life.
And then, so what I'm saying is, I try to honor. We have always talked about the history of this land and the things that Jamie and I have discovered from digging the holes for her plants, and all the things that Mr. Dub and Miss Sharon showed us right here on this counter that they had found across this land. What in the world was that? That was something that jumped off. That's cats. There's cats running on our roof. But so bottom line is, just to make a long story short, you'll have to watch the video if you choose to, or don't if it's going to offend you. And it's no skin off my back if you do or if you don't. It was made out of love. It was made with great time and with the certainty that I wasn't doing anything that was going to offend anybody. Instead, it was only done to honor those who have lived here long before the white man ever showed up to take away from so much of all of that. And I did put that on the I'm a Survivor channel because it's kind of an I'm a Survivor. Voodoo was a rescue.
Voodoo,
And so
Voodoo was absolutely a rescue. And
those are just cats, y'all. They're cats, and our dogs are being silly right now.
Yes. Anyway, and Voodoo was also a survivor with us for many, many years, and will always be a part of us. So Lester, I believe, honored him in a very powerful
That was my
way.
intent. That was my intent. But I can't wait until we can talk after the video so I can tell you some of the research that I was sent, because even I learned so much. I want to thank Crystal. I don't know if she's watching, but she is just a go-to in anything that relates to stuff like this. So I got a lot of neat reading that I got to do, and I tried to honestly honor those who came before us, who were here before us. And some people say that their spirits might still be here. That's why I waved down by the river. Do they know that story? There may be new people who don't even know that story. Can I tell it real fast?
Sure.
That ain't going to bother you if I take away. Guys, I don't want to bore you. That's what I don't want to do, is bore you. But this was a couple of years back. I was making a video of the goats taking a walk down to the river. And before we had that flooding and the hurricane this past summer, we would do those walks to the river at least once a week. Now, I took the goats down several times a week, but I only made a video once a week. I can't go live down there. There's no signal, but I could go down and walk with the goats and make a video. And so on one particular walk, we're all going down alongside the river, and I'm sitting there just videoing away, just like, yeah, you know how I can sometimes get lost in video making. And I didn't seem to notice it, but all the goats at the same time perk their heads up and they all look. And all 20, 25 goats, however many we had at the time, all stopped, froze in their tracks, and were staring at something across the river. Well, I'm just like having a great time making my video. I never thought about it. I'm just sitting here videoing this and videoing that, never noticing the goats had all paused and were staring at something across the river. Okay. At some point, all the goats end up turning around and running back home. I'm like, oh, well, there goes the goats. They've had enough to eat. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Some folks remember that. Okay. So anyways, I make the video. I post the video a couple of days later, and then I got some emails, and there were people who sent me emails that said that they could see on the other side of the river. Okay, this is where people are going to start calling me cuckoo. Can you finish the story? Because they're going to call me names. They're going to all call me cuckoo if I keep going. Can I finish it? Can I finish? Yes or no? Can I finish? Yes or no? Just say yes or no. If I need to hush it up, I'll just hush it up. Or can I finish? Okay. Okay. So there's more people saying yes, continue, than those who are saying stop. Okay. I get it, y'all. I get it. A lot of you guys are going to call rubbish, or you're going to call, what's the word they say? I call BS on this story. Okay, fine. But supposedly there are some people who are more in tune with their spiritual side than others. I'm not saying religious, I'm saying their spiritual side. And there were people who said that on the bank of that river, they could see what appeared to be a Native American wearing a chest plate, who was standing there in some kind of a pants. It wasn't like a moccasin, not a moccasin, but it wasn't a little sling cloth. It was a pants and a chest plate. And he was trying to motion to me to get my attention. And then he got the attention of all the goats. All the goats saw the guy. And I'm just sitting there rambling on. And then at some point I turn to walk off. And when I turned to walk off, that fella put his hand down, and put his head down and walked back off into the woods. Now listen to me. You and I both did. We replayed that video 100 times. And I played it and I zoomed in and I didn't see nothing. I didn't see anything. But I kept wondering, how did a couple of people see that and I didn't? So I just said, you know what? When I go down there, I'm just going to always wave across the river for just in case. And so now whenever I go to the river with the goats or alone, I'm just like, just to make sure I don't upset anybody. And then Jamie can tell you that tons of things have happened here.
I was just going to say, like, you can feel the energy here. I don't consider myself spiritually connected on that level to where I can identify what's going on, but you can feel the energy here, specifically on this side of the property versus that side.
Yes.
And
yes.
It's wild to me that all of the things that have happened on this side. All of them. The garage door opening and closing on its own.
The e-car taking off by itself.
Yes. Things with our animals that they see or that you feel. The toilet, and there's so many things here that are like,
well, the boot that you found multiple times that keeps reappearing, the Civil War stuff, the artifacts that we found, everything that we found this side of the property, nothing over on that side. And the day the tree, the day that the giant limb fell down and crushed the spot where Jamie was videoing earlier that day,
where I left my camera and all of the woods.
Oh, it was a camera. It was a trail camera.
No, I was there making a video of myself I was putting water out for wildlife because we were in a drought, and I put a trail cam there, and this whole tree fell on it. So then we move it, and then the next day, another tree falls on it.
So this is not somebody coming by with a hacksaw, cutting things down, messing with us, y'all. These are legit things that have happened over on this side of the property. And then
arrow. Remember the arrow?
Yes, the arrow. And then last year, when our we had water well issues, we called around to find someone who was available. We finally got a hold of somebody who we didn't know, but he shows up. He goes, I know this property. And we're like, oh yeah, how do you know? He goes, well, it used to 30 years ago belong to a member of his family. And I'm like, oh, I mean, I knew that Dub and Sharon, the former owners, were only here for 18 years. So when he said 30 years ago, I'm like, oh, that was a long time ago. This guy was older than I am. And he goes, you know, should I tell him this story? There was a young woman who was murdered, and they buried her body over here. And when they finally found the guy who murdered her, and he had to show them where the body was at, guess where? Same side of the property. Not to mention the tree with all of the initials written into it that have been here for 100 years. So there's a lot of history, friends, over on this side of the
It
property.
gives me goosebumps to think about, because I also think that the animals see and hear things, and like there's a lot of things that I don't catch on camera, but I notice, and I'm like, nope, not gonna talk about it, not gonna think about it. Like,
And then
just gonna
I'll say
move on.
one last thing, and I'm not trying to be mean, but when we first moved here, Miss Sharon, that was the older lady who lived here, for some reason on this side of the property, she had tiny little angel creatures like cherubs or whatever you call them. What are they called? Like, not gargoyles.
What are you doing? They don't look like that.
They were scary. I forgot what they looked like because I took every one of them and tossed them in the river.
It turns out that they were necessary.
I think that Miss Sharon and Mr. Dub also were haunted, and they knew there was something over here, and she thought by putting them little creatures all over the place, little winged children, angels is what they were. Children with wings like little angels. And she had them everywhere, like circling around, like everywhere. And here's the thing. They terrified me. They gave me the spooks. So I went by one day and I grabbed every one of them and tossed them to the river. Shouldn't have done that. Probably should have done something different with them. But I figured they'll return to the earth. They're all made of pottery, right? They're just pottery. So it ain't like I'm littering. They're all just going to sink to the bottom and return to the earth. But listen, there was some reason why that woman had those things all over the darn place on this side of the property. And it wasn't for decoration. You don't put those things in circles around every tree for decoration. They're spooky.
Apparently you do.
No, they're spooky. People don't do
I think
that.
that they were protecting things. I think that they were here for a reason. And I think that you disturbed the peace. That's all I'm going to say. And they're still mad about it.
Well, I don't know the who and why behind it. But anyway, I don't even know where this whole story came from. But we did take care of Voodoo, and I put that on video, and that will be coming out to you all tomorrow afternoon. I know that YouTube watchers are a lot more active in the afternoons, so I put it out to be my 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon video. And that will be on the Sanctuary. I'm a Survivor Sanctuary. I hope you'll all take time to watch it. Don't make me force it down your throats, okay? What's wrong?
No, it's one thing to live it in person and to go through the motions of all of it, but to put it into a video is like, and to share it with others is powerful, but it also is like, it's therapeutic. It's therapeutic for us to honor Vu in that way.
Well, you know, animals like Vu, and let's just say Vu, not animals like, but Vu was with us for a long time. And he was such a big part of our story. I don't know how early he came along in the whole rescue. I know that I'm a Survivor was already up and going. That's how Miss Claire, his former owner, heard about us to offer him. She brought him all the way from Louisiana. That's where his name come from, Voodoo. Get it? And it's a cultural kind of a thing. And so Miss Claire brought him over. And what a beautiful horse. Just gorgeous horse. But sure wish we could have had more years with him. He was just really special in so many ways.
It's
and
hard.
We will miss him.
We do miss him. It's very hard to like.
I haven't made it, even though going through all of the things I had to do to get him into the ground, I still can't seem to grasp that he's really gone. I can't. And today, working on my video that will play tomorrow, I just like, he's gone. And that means forever. And that's this weird part. It just doesn't feel, it's very surreal, I think the word is.
I can't walk in that pasture yet.
Well, Carl's in there now, so do not go over there. Whatever you do, Carl's in there now. Carl is protecting him, okay? Do not walk in there. Don't.
It's really weird to like, you know, I was getting up every couple of hours a night to go check on him and to every free minute that I had was like icing his feet, doing red light therapy on his feet, massaging his legs, bringing him water. I carried water to Voodoo for the last 3 weeks of his life, wherever he was, so that he would continue to drink. And like stepping out of all of that care is hard.
Here's the comment I was trying to get from Mel. Listen, I think that all of the animals, especially the day it happened, there was some bizarre behavior going on. Now, even before Dr. Cochran got here, Ivy, who was in the same pasture, who has a bone infection, who we know is not 100%, she was letting me know there's something going down. Something's going on. And then she was relaying whatever's going on to all of the other across the way. And there were horses running, like full speed running throughout the afternoon and the night. Donkeys were braying. It was like they just knew, like they knew. And then after Dr. Cochran got in the car and left, she and her vet techs left, Jamie and I could hear the horses were just running. And there wasn't anything after them. They were just running. And that was, I think, that their way of just like somehow maybe not understanding, maybe not being able to see, but we did not bring all the horses over one at a time.
Not while he was. I did to let them say goodbye.
Yeah,
but not while.
That's what I was going to say, because Bucky's. If y'all remember, Jamie actually was mad at me because when I brought Bucky's over, Voodoo and Bucky started play fighting.
But Voodoo was defending himself, like he was not.
But it probably wasn't good for his health.
That's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't. It wore him down a lot.
It did wear him down. Now I'm too dumb to know. I'm just saying, oh, Jamie, look, they're playing. Look at them playing. No, I think that Bucky's was saying, oh, you're not feeling too good. Then I guess I'm the alpha now. I guess I'm the top dog. I'm the man, or whatever. And Vu's like, no, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. They were doing back and forth.
Bucky's like the annoying friend who just can't read the room.
Uh-huh.
Like that's what he was like. And Vu just wasn't feeling well, and normally he'll tolerate it until he doesn't. And I just think that Bucky's couldn't take the hint that day, or maybe he didn't want to believe that his buddy was truly sick, And I'm gonna cry.
Don't cry. No, the horses and donkeys are all fine today. Everyone's acting normal. That we're getting our weather's been so pretty.
That's not the one that I saw.
With some rain and some little bit of sun, that we're getting things to pop out, y'all. Grass is growing, and I mean the spring grass, which is scary because it's going to drop down pretty cold this week.
That's what made me cry.
Oh, Angel Nolan says Vu was running with them one last time. Listen, I mean, I don't know how everyone, I'm sure, has different ideas of what happens with this and that, but I'll tell you what, there was some reason that they were all running. And donkeys and horses were just running.
The ground shook.
The ground shook around here.
Our whole ground shook.
Listen, I was scared, not like a fear for myself, but I'm like, Jamie, someone's going to get hurt. They're going to fall in a hole, step on a rock. You know how I am. Y'all need to settle down. Someone's going to fall. I'm like the old lady or the old man. And I thought someone's going to fall and get hurt, that they're out there running like that. But they ran around these pastures.
It was after dark.
Yeah.
And I thought it too. But they knew that Voodoo was sick, and I have a video that I recorded right before it ends with Dr. Cochran pulling up, and everyone's in disarray. Like everyone is just off kilter and out of whack, and just like our pasture is unsettled.
Yeah.
It's getting better. Today I groomed everybody. I, brushed everybody down. I have to go out and put blankets on here in a bit. And I'm curious as to how that's going to go, because I had this rhythm and it would be always Voodoo first, followed by Prim, followed by Bucky's, then Storm, then Ivy, then Bev, and Imogene. The two boys, they're never wearing blankets. It's just never going to happen. And I know that I'll start with Prim and I'll just pick up from that part, but it's also like I wrapped up Voodoo's blanket for the last time, and I can't bring myself to truly put it away or to wash it. I didn't wash Dixie's blanket, and I brought it out this year, and it still smelled like her. And I know it's silly to like think about all those tiny things and to sit here and cry about those tiny things, but his care was so much a part of my everyday. And now, like, don't get me wrong, there's still plenty to do, but that was just like, he set the tone for our herd. He was such an incredible leader that his presence held power. And I miss that, and they miss that, and you can feel it.
We'll never get a chance to play all of the footage that we tried to grab. You know, you grab stuff because you don't know if you'll ever need it. And sometimes you won't.
I know that Voo is not a little. But we're going to go ahead and call our babies up so they can say their last goodbyes. Come on, littles! Let's go!
I love them. We tried to find a way to make it to where all of the animals had a chance to say and know, because otherwise, I don't know, but I think they would be scared.
Yeah.
I think they would have been scared. So I wanted them to know that Voo's going to be leaving us today. And I think it would be easier. I mean, it's kind of like, even as a human, I think if someone passes unexpectedly, it's always harder than if you know it's going to happen, right? And so, and they can sense things, obviously. So, no, we gave a chance for our babies to at least be nearby, but still give Voo the dignity and the peace and the quiet that he needed one paddock over. So that video, I would have never used that video for anything. I'll hold on to it because it was cute to see the animals walk up and whatever, but I didn't mean to make you sad tonight. Can we go ahead and just stop the live and talk about some questions and answers right now? So what we've talked about today was Casper going to a new home, and Miss Mary, what a wonderful fit that seems to have been. We had some nice people reach out, friends. Don't get me wrong. We've got a lot of emails between the two of us. Lots of really wonderful people.
I almost messed up because Lester was emailing someone, this Mary, and I was emailing another lady, and I hadn't had time to tell Lester about the plans yet. And Lester goes, wait, Miss Mary's coming tomorrow. And I was already like, another lady was making plans, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. So I had to take ownership and say I didn't communicate fast enough, and we apologize.
When we first started out, receiving emails about Casper, we were trying real hard to let people know that we'd rather him go local if possible. And then there were some that were local, but they had to ask their husband's permission. I'm local, but I can't drive. So I have to find someone who can bring me. I'm not local. Can I come stay a couple of days? And so there was a lot of different things, and I'm not saying these were not wonderful people, but it wasn't an ideal situation for all that we had going on. We have the stuff with Chuck coming up, very soon. And it was just crazy the way the Miss Mary situation worked out, where she's right up the road in Dallas. She'll come the same day or first thing in the morning. She has the backyard. Has a dog park right down the road. There's a 2-mile walking trails in her neighborhood. She already walks, one dog that would probably enjoy the company of another dog. And so we're not trying to say that there weren't other folks who would have been great owners. And but we just found that Miss Mary was going to be the one that we felt better about with all that, you know, and I think that you all felt it too. I think that in that video today, you all saw a really sweet lady who is going to offer Casper a wonderful home. So we got that talk taken care of, and that will be wonderful for Casper and for Miss Mary and for us. So that was a win-win-win for everybody, I think. Talked about videos coming out tomorrow and what to expect. Talked a lot about Voodoo and his final days, final day especially. And talked about some ghost stories. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we go to the question and answer session?
No.
Well, at this point over here, Jamie, you can read better than I can. If you can see a question and talk about and answer it, or maybe try to grab one to pull up, we will do that now. If you have a question, sometimes all caps are a little bit easier for me to see. How old was Voodoo? 20-something.
Right at 20.
Right at 20. Snowing here in Ohio.
I saw someone ask if we're gonna do a venogram on Ivy. So Ivy doesn't have a laminitis or a sinking hoof. Ivy has a bone infection, and that is what we're treating currently. She has to be on antibiotics for 6 to 8 weeks, and she's been on for 2 already. She's starting her 3rd round.
I think, Miss Helen, that would be impossible. There have been way too many. There have been way too many.
There's only a few that truly keep in touch in that caliber.
Most people don't.
So Miss Kathy, who has Billy Bob, will send us updates. One of Christmas's puppies, Rocky, I see. And then Buddy and Brutus, I do hear about them quite often as well. But we don't, I'll be honest, I don't have time to reach out to those people like, hey, send me a picture of your dog. Like, it is up to those owners if they want to share things with us. We were a part of those dog stories. We are not the owners or the people who are financially responsible or any of those things. Like, for us, it is a luxury if they choose to share with us. It is not a requirement.
Yeah. As far as the kids video about Voodoo passing, I'm not going to, not now anyway. I think the emotions are too strong, and I think that there's too many people invested, and they're going to be too critical, and I don't want to do that.
I don't think that you want your one of 5 videos to be about an animal death of that caliber.
I think that so here's the thing. I disagree with you on that.
Really?
I mean, I have 5 videos out so far. This will be number 6, but I don't mind, because I think that there are a lot of kids who are never taught. Maybe they've probably experienced seeing a pet passing away. But I will say one thing that I can't wait to do. A lady sent me a message from an email, and she said that it was her grandson, a 5-year-old, who said to the parents that he knows why dogs die and don't live a long life. And the whole family's like, okay. He goes, because dogs are born already knowing how to love, whereas it takes humans sometimes an entire lifetime. Now, that may be from a 5-year-old or maybe not, but it's a beautiful little thing that I was going to add into my video. But no, I'm not going to do that now with Voodoo. I don't want people to see a sick Voodoo. I don't want to see a sick Voodoo. And some of the video that we had from those last few days of him not really able to get up and him walking the way he walked, I don't want kids to see that. So I'll think more about it, but not now. This is neat. When will the stable building be going up? Tomorrow at 6 a.m. So I will be going over there and be ready first thing in the morning to get that started. We're very excited about that. Hoping that it stays nice and dry for a few days so we can go ahead and take care of all of those things and get that up, especially if we got cold weather coming, right?
We have another cold Arctic blast coming. It starts tonight. It actually is somewhat here. I have to go out and put on blankets, and we will freeze again tonight, which I am not excited about in any way. So,
Stephanie, yes, Jamie actually did find a bathtub in an RV yesterday and made me get into it. It was wonderful. If you did not see that live video, you just go watch towards the end of it, and you And that was kind of the last thing that we videoed. Are you going to get Chuck in a trailer? No problems whatsoever. Chuck is going to load with no problems whatsoever. And I got stuck. Yes, Nikki, thank you for reminding everybody that I had a hard time getting out of that tub.
The funnier part was when another lady came in and was like giving you the look of like, what is he doing?
We've already answered that about the horses. Will you take Barnadette to the vet before she has kittens? No, I'm going to, I got an email from a lady who said that she sent a cat box. I don't know what it looks like, and I've not received it yet. But
there's packages outside that we have to open.
There are things to be opened, and I'll get to that, and we will do all of that stuff. But I do not have a vet visit scheduled for Barnadette yet. Do you think that the guy who told you which direction Casper went on the railroad tracks might have Sadie? He said he has 15 dogs. I don't know. I should have asked him while I was there. I have a friend who's Native American. She saw my precious cat who'd passed away playing with my daughter, who had also passed away some years ago.
Wow.
There's so much spiritual that we can sense. We have a huge nor'easter headed this way this week with very cold air, lots of snow here in MD. Is that Maryland?
Yeah.
That's true, Cindy T. So I don't really see, is Jeff coming to help you with Chuck? Yes, Jeff will be here on the 25th, and he and I will load Chuck early on the 26th. Jeff will be staying over at the JL Motel while he's in town, and then he and I will drive Chuck over to Texas A&M together. Will you ride with us, right?
Oh my God, you want me to ride with you and Jeff?
I think you should need to go with us. I would like Jamie to go. Jamie knows people over there. She needs to go. Lester, Jamie, I lost it. I love how responsible y'all are regarding sterilization of animals. Well, we're pretty good. I'm not saying we're perfect. We've made some slip ups. I would highly recommend the Class A mobile home. Maybe renting one. Not sure where that's coming from. We're not in the market for a mobile home.
No, she's talking about the motor home, the ones we went and saw yesterday. Class A is a drivable.
Oh, so we can't afford stuff like that. Those things are very expensive.
She said she recommended renting one.
Oh, rent one. I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't read the
Lester
whole thing.
can't read. Even though he reads to you, he's not.
Have you canceled Lunch with Longhorn Lester? I kind of think that I have, and I'll tell you why. I've been going live so much. Mornings we have our morning roll call, and afternoons, evening we have our roundup. And I'm already going live twice a day. And then you guys don't know this probably, but one day there's a rule on YouTube that if you go live more than 3 times, or not live, but if you post more than 3 videos in a 24-hour period, they stop notifying folks, because I guess that they assume you're spamming the internet. You're trying to take over everyone's time. You're using up all of their notification space or whatever. And so Miss Vanessa, our moderator, sent that link to me. I had no idea. And so now I have to be very careful that I don't overexceed the number of times that I have YouTube help me notify folks, because it messes everything up. Right? Mm-hmm. I'm in Pennsylvania and we're getting heavy snow and high winds. Please be careful, ma'am. Can you get a head cam for mornings when you have the shakes?
His head shakes too.
You ain't seen nothing yet, little lady, till I get me a head cam going.
You don't want any of that.
I'll tell you what. How long is Jeff staying? He won't tell me. I don't know what his plans are. I think it's up to Mary, his wife. Jamie should start going live with the goats at the river so we don't get a signal. Tyler looks cool. Tyler looks like he should be like in a band. Tyler, I don't know if that's your real picture or if that's someone that you know, like you idolize, but that guy in that little thumbnail, or what do you call that little thing? The thumbnail? That dude looks cool. I don't suspect that he follows my channel because he's way too young for me. Most people who follow my channel are in their 40s. We have a few in the 30s, lots in their 40s and 50s. That guy looks to be in his 20s, and he's way too cool. Just saying. Get Lester a chest cam. Just have it pointed in the correct direction. Hey, I want to tell y'all something real fast, and I promise I'll leave you alone. I'm going to go ahead and stop answering the questions. I got one funny story. Can I tell the funny about my dad?
Tell it.
Okay. One funny story about my dad. Okay. So we're over at Dad's, and I'm talking about my new tattoo that I got for Lex. And Dad wants to video it. And I'm like, that's fine. I wasn't going to video it because I'm not really at my age, you don't show off tattoos. What's wrong?
I thought you were going to say I'm not really a video guy. I was like,
oh, I'm a video guy. I video everything. But at my age, you don't video your new tattoos. And so to make a long story short, I'm trying to keep it simple here, Jamie. Dad wanted to make a video out of it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, whatever. And so I says, but Dad, just make sure that, here we go. Make sure that it's not in slow-mo, because my dad has made an entire video all in slow motion, because my dad doesn't edit the same way he doesn't watch what he's recording. He doesn't edit either. He just takes his footage and he goes to upload and he's done. And what you see is what you get. All right. I love my dad, but as a joke, I'm like, hey, make sure you're not in slow-mo. Oh, no, boy. No, I'm good. I'm good. I says, make sure you're not upside down, because my dad has also recorded entire videos upside down. And he never watches his videos. Guys, if you know what I'm saying is true, just say, yes, that's true. Because my dad has done all slow-mo videos. He's done upside down videos. He's also done a video in complete reverse, in reverse order. I don't even know how he did that. How does someone put a video all the way in reverse? But my dad had a video in reverse.
I had an upside down video, so I can't say crap.
No, you did
But
not.
hold on, it wasn't my recording. It was the export, like the shrinking of the file to be able to get it to export did that, and I could not, like, I didn't know it. Then people thought that I was playing a joke, and I really didn't know it. It was like the middle of my video.
So no, I made sure that my dad had a complete checklist of all the things that he's going to do right. He's ready to go. He wants to make a video of my new tattoo. Okay, fine. If we didn't get home the next day, that video comes out. And I don't know what my dad was doing, y'all. I took a screen. I'm not making fun of my dad. I love my dad. I'm not making fun of him at all. He made a video, all right. And for some reason, here's where his camera was at. And he went, and he zoomed in so far that people are seeing like up around my bicep area. And it was, and then
You left out some instructions.
I did not tell him to make sure he doesn't zoom in. I didn't say, Dad, keep it zoomed out. Keep it.
But it was funny because it kind of left people wanting to see it and like wanting to know, and you never got to see it. And that was, I know that it wasn't like on purpose.
Lisa goes, he zoomed way in.
But it was hilarious.
Lisa, he did. I don't even know how he did that. My phone to zoom, you got to like do your thumb like this. Right? You got to use your thumb while you're videoing to zoom in. And I don't even know how my dad's phone just went, zoop, it just like shot in.
But it was hilarious because like if you just watch that video, you're like looking for like, how tiny is this tattoo? Is it in white? Because you didn't see it. All you saw was Lester's hairs and his pores. So like,
oh my gosh,
yeah.
It was something. But no, that was a funny moment with my dad. And I didn't even know what brought that, what prompted that, what even prompted that. I don't even know what prompted me to say that. Lester, ability to laugh at himself and funnies with the family makes my day, helps my mental health. Tammy, I'll tell you what. I mean, come on. I do have to laugh at myself sometimes. Sometimes you need it a lot more than other times. Do you agree?
It's best not to take yourself so seriously.
Yes. I mean, and in this profession, now, of course, Jamie has a real job too. So she always has her fallback profession. But in the fact that I only do this for a living, so here's the thing, and I promise I will let you go very, very soon. I promise. And help me out on this over here. But as a human, what we like is to get validation, right? We like to be validated that we're doing something worthy. We're doing something worthwhile. We're making the world a better place. As a human, you want your boss to tell you good job on occasion. As a human, you want to be validated that your life is not just going to waste, right? And so sometimes the way that we as a video person get validation is through the comments. And then it's kind of like if you try to like use your creativity or maybe a gift, and you think that you're putting out a really good product, and it's important to you to give your social media family a good product that you can be proud of, that they will be proud of, and then you find out that you failed somebody, and then you failed somebody else, and then you failed somebody else. At some point, sometimes that takes a toll on you. It can take like a mental toll on you. And then even though there's some really nice and some sweet comments, sometimes those negative ones can stand out because that just kind of goes against your core. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And so what you have to do is realize that, you know what? I think that what I just did was funny. I think what I just did was stupidly funny. Or I think what I just said was funny. And sometimes you try not to laugh because you don't want people to think that you're laughing at yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just can't help it. You just got to laugh because you know that what you said or what you did was dumb, just plain out dumb. It's like a couple mornings ago, I was trying to help Chuck get some of that green hay out the back of the side-by-side. I'd already almost had myself a heart attack by chasing that darn dog down the railroad tracks. And I tried to help Chuck toss him some hay. Couldn't reach it. I was scared to get off the side-by-side, so I climbed through the middle into the back end. And I'm sitting there at such an awkward position. My behind is arched up in the air. Now, I'm in the woods, so no one sees me. No one's around. What's wrong? But I'm sitting there with my behind arched up, me head buried in the hay pretty much. And I just had a moment where I'm like, you know what? The internet needs to see this. So I turned the camera around facing myself, and I laughed and I laughed and I laughed and I got the giggles. And when I got the giggles, man, when I get the giggles, they don't go away too easy. And then, but I noticed that people were laughing with me too. And that was all the validation that I needed for making the fool of myself out there. So anyway, what did this over here say, Jamie?
It was hilarious. We saw you.
Thank y'all. Anyway, I don't really see any more questions coming through. Lester,
You told people that you were done answering questions.
Oh, I am done. We're done answering questions. We laugh right along with you. All right. Well, Jamie, in that case, then go ahead and wrap it up.
Y'all, thanks for joining us on Sanctuary Sunday and for every day. We're so grateful that you give us the greatest gift of all, which is your time. It's going to be a good week. We're going to make it a good week. We have a lot to do, especially tonight. I have to go put some horse blankets on. Lester has to go put Rita's horse blanket on and do his nighttime feed up over there and prepare for all that's ahead for this week. Hug those you love. Make sure you tell them and take care of yourself too. It's probably going to be a cold week where you're at, and we hope that you stay warm, stay well, stay safe, and we will catch you on the next video.
I know that Voodoo is not a little, but we're going to go ahead and call our babies up so they can say their last goodbyes. Come on, littles! Let's go!
Survivor. I'm a survivor. Who will be the ultimate survivor? Let's find out when you spend a day in our shoes. All you creators, our sanctuary is waiting. Who will win the title? Well, it could be you. Survivor. I'm a survivor.